Welcome to Wellness Made Easy with Wendy and Kirsten. Hi, I'm Wendy. After I graduated with my master's in wellness management, I started my own company, T2 Coaching, Health, Fitness, and Sport. And I'm Kirsten, an athlete, vegan, life coach, and girl mom, running a business focused on helping others create a life they love. We are here to explore all things wellness to help you become the person you've always wanted to be. So if that's why you're here, open your ears and your mind as we tackle the world of wellness together.
Hey, everyone. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Kirsten. How are you?
I am doing so good. I've done so much this morning already that I feel very energized.
That's great. I've kind of had a relaxing day. I did my sunrise run, which is always a priority when I have the opportunity. And then I wanted to swim 26 by 25s, and I only swam 21. And I had this in my mind that 26 25s equal to 525. And it didn't. It equals a 625. So I missed out on 100 swim, and I'm totally okay with it because I didn't realize it till I was home and already downloaded my workout. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Interesting.
But I'm totally fine with it. And it's all good. And, it's a really beautiful day here. And this morning I had possible intentions of going for a bike ride, and I'm tired. And so I'm not going to.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, your swim sounds like my Diswimber. I actually did not get my goal, but since it's my challenge and I can make my own rules, I decided I could make my goal if I extended a few more days. So I'm still on for making my Diswimber goal. It just didn't all happen in December.
That's awesome because on top of that, on what you just said, on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, very last minute, because I only scheduled this for one athlete, and I'm like, why not schedule it for all the athletes I coach? I texted them, I emailed them, and I said, if you have to, on December 24th, on December 30th, I said, if you have time on December 31st, do 2,500 meter yard swim, 25-mile bike, 2.5-mile run to end 2025, and or do 2,600 meter swim, 26-mile bike, 2.6, or some sort of combination. And it was a very last minute thing to do. And I ended up doing the 25, 25, 25, the last day of 2025. And some athletes, I'm surprised, probably 3/4 of the athletes I coach took me up on that opportunity. And it made me really proud because, I think, again, I attract those type of athletes who know me to do, kind of epic stuff and likes to be challenged. And so I throw that at them as an option. I'm not like, you have to do that. It's not going to make or break anything in your season of triathlon training, but it's really fun to see the ones that really want to do it and really make the effort versus the ones who are like, no, that's okay. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's great either way. So on top of that, I'm going to say that is a huge wellness win for me, my coaching business. And then part of my wellness win is I did achieve my December Diswimber, which was swimming at least a 1K 5 days a week, plus my 100 hundreds on December 24th. I achieved that. It wasn't very easy. I mean, despite being, coaching the kids, except a random schedule during the holidays, sometimes I would go at 7 p.m. on a Sunday to check off my 1,000 swim because I realized I only did 4 for that week. And so it was an attainable goal. It was realistic. It wasn't the easiest goal as I thought it would be, but I'm glad I did it because, again, I'm never going to go swim Sunday night at 7 p.m. But because I had this goal in mind, I was more motivated to do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was thinking today, I have so many wellness wins, which is exciting because that's kind of why Wendy and I do this wellness win segment, is to get you guys thinking of, oh yeah, what's my wellness win? And sometimes we're like, oh, I have to really dig for some. And sometimes I'm like, I have 12, which one should I pick? And I did want to mention, I did a 5K this morning and it's my PR for 2026. Nice. Because it was my first 5K of 2026. And it was interesting because before we started the 5K, there was several people I knew there. And I said, hey, you guys, get ready for your PR, your 2026 PR. And two of the people were like, oh, wow, that's such a positive way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, oh, I'm tired, or I've been slacking over the holidays, or, all the excuses or things that people say. No matter what you run today, if it's your first run of the year, it's your PR for the year.
It's
So
your PR for the year.
Take that win. So I took that win. But my major wellness win, this is such a crazy story. I'll try to keep it brief. So on Christmas, we always get lottery tickets in our stocking. So we're really good, and Santa thinks we deserve lottery tickets. So we always get like the $1 scratchers, and we always scratch it. And we were scratching this year, and people are like, oh, I won $2. I won $20. We're like, whoa, that's so exciting. Well, I don't really like scratching them because I don't like the feeling of that scratchy stuff, the silver stuff, or whatever's on top of the numbers. So I'm like, Cora, scratch these tickets. And she was scratching them, but then she got bored. And so we still had some that weren't scratched, and I was getting ready to take her to her dad. So I was like, hey, do you want to give your dad a couple of these lottery tickets? Because he loves playing the lottery. And he always tells her like, oh, when we win the lottery, we're going to do this, this, this. So like, we thought it would be fun to give him a couple scratch offs. So I dropped her off. We gave him a couple lottery tickets. And then my family went and saw Avatar, the new movie. And when I got out of the movie, I was checking my messages, and he had texted, and he was like, hey, are these lottery tickets a joke? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, are they fake lottery tickets? I'm like, no, these are real lottery tickets. Why, did you win something? He goes, I don't know, maybe. And I'm like, send me the photo of the ticket. And he sent it, and he won $10,000.
Oh my gosh.
On a $1 scratch off.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? And so he sent the picture, and he's like, is this real? And I'm like, yeah, because my whole family just got finished scratching a bunch. So we knew how it worked, like what to look for. And I was like, yeah. And so I like called him right away, and I was like, holy crap, dude, you totally won $10,000. And he was like, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know. Let me check. So we Googled it, and we decided to split it. And so we turned in the ticket. You have to like email a picture of it with the serial number. And then they emailed me and said, they got all my information, and then they send me a check. And so, and then we pay, they take out some taxes. And then since I claimed it, it's counted as income tax. So I had to save out taxes for that. But after all is said and done, we each got $3,000.
Wow. Awesome.
Isn't that amazing? And what's the cool part about it is my whole kind of big goal this year was the last few years I've been really loosey-goosey on my finances, which is fine. I haven't, like, I have a bunch of credit card debt, and I have my car debt, but I was always like, if there's money, I can do the things I want to do. If there's money, I can buy the things I want to buy. And I haven't really kept a budget or kept track.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden at the end of last year, my credit card was maxed out, and I'm like, wow, that happened really quickly. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I want to be more aware. And I've started several times over the last couple of years doing a budget. And then I don't make time for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? This year, I really want to focus on money, getting out of debt again, because I've been debt free before in the past, and just getting that under control. And so this was like a great way to start the year of getting my finances back in order.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that so cool?
So what are you going to do with that $3,000?
So Cora and I, for spring break, we're planning on going to California.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to go to Disneyland and Legoland, and we're driving out for the whole spring break, and I'm doing the Oceanside race at the end. And so we were going to take that trip anyway. I just didn't know how I was going to pay for it. I was just going to do what I always do and find a way to like get the tickets to Disneyland and stuff. So
yeah,
it's all paid for now.
Oh, yay. That makes me so happy.
I know. So yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. $3,000. That's about how much the trip would cost.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm just going to save it all and use it for our trip to California for spring break.
That's so cool.
I know. Isn't that
so cool?
It's pretty
As you're telling me this story, I know Matt, Cora's dad, but I have this visual of Rick in my mind. For some reason, I'm visualizing Rick
winning the lottery.
winning this money, because I know Rick more. I know him
Yeah,
more. I've known him longer. So either way, that's cool.
I
Congratulations to
know.
both of you.
Yes, it was just crazy. It was like, what are the odds, first of all, like to win $10,000 on a $1 scratcher? I think the
Right.
odds are really slim. And it was just really cool. And we were like, oh my God, it was a whirlwind of crazy, but it was exciting. So that's 100% a wellness win, because I'm
Yeah.
putting out there that I want to be more responsible with my money and take care of things. And I got a good head start.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yay. So Wendy and I wanted to kind of give you guys some very simple challenges to start your year off right. People talk about, and we talked about this last week on the podcast, on our New Year's podcast, goals, resolutions, making changes, intentions, but sometimes that's really overwhelming. And I know if I have too big of a goal, like cleaning my whole house, I'm not even going to start, because that's way too overwhelming. So Wendy and I thought about just a few very simple options that you guys can take. And we kind of thought about some different categories of wellness to help you guys. If you want to just pick one of these, they're simple. They're things that most of them are things anyone can do. The Ironman in a Month challenge is a bigger challenge, because that's about 30 minutes a day of working out, which is realistic for some people, but not everybody. But the other ones are all really simple and realistic. So we just wanted to give you guys some very simple things to start with. So Wendy, do you want to talk about the Ironman distance in a month?
Yeah. So you kind of just jumped in there. No one knows about it because we haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah.
So years and years ago, Kirsten and I started our own private Facebook groups, and we used to do, at least I stopped doing monthly challenges, but I'm bringing it back. And so we would do some sort of health and fitness, nutrition, sleep, recovery, all the things we talk about on the Wellness podcast as a goal, as a challenge doesn't mean it's going to be hard. It's just something different. We like to call it a challenge. And so we started years ago this iron distance challenge to do in January. And back when we started it, we were supporting Athletes in Tandem. So we did charge a minimal amount of money, and we donated it to Athletes in Tandem, which is an able body pulling or pushing a disabled body usually in a triathlon or running event. So the iron distance challenge is just someone to get consistent. The reason we started in January is to just get them back into a consistent routine, because, a lot of people could be consistent and then they get inconsistent over the holidays, which is totally normal. It's the off season. So you want to accumulate 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, followed by 26.2 miles of running within the month. And some people, like for me, I'm a runner right now, so I'm going to accumulate more than 26.2 miles of running, but I'm good with only doing 112 miles of cycling. That's going to be a challenge for me because I have not been riding hardly at all. And I usually don't ride this time of year. I usually wait till the summer. So I'm committed to doing one full iron distance challenge, plus maybe accumulate, maybe 8K of swimming for the month. And I'm going to do I usually run like 50 miles a week of running. So that's no problem. So it's up to you. It's your challenge. We have an event page on Facebook, and my goal is to kind of provide motivational tips, more wellness tips in my private Facebook group, as well as Kirsten's group, to keep people motivated and to keep them going, and just to help them achieve their goal of doing one iron distance challenge a month. And then, something for like the month of February, I always think of, flexibility February. Let's work on more of a stretching and mobility phase of training during the month of February. And then I help guide athletes with different flexibility, mobility movements for February. March is National Nutrition Month. So I always, even though I've stopped doing monthly challenges, I've always stuck to my March nutrition challenge, 5 fruits and veggies a day, et cetera, et cetera.
So a couple things before we lose this. I want to mention with that iron distance in 1 month, I would say on average, if you're just like starting back working out, and an Ironman distance triathlon might take you like 15 hours. And so that's why I was like, if you divide that by 30 days, that's about 30 minutes of workouts a day. So if you are you're wanting to attempt this, I would schedule out for the average person about 30 minutes a day of either swimming, biking, or running. So just so you guys can plan for that.
Right. And if you think about it, a mile of running a day takes roughly 26 days to run a marathon. So if you committed to running a mile a day, you're going to check off your marathon distance. I think the hardest thing for this time of year, if don't have accessibility to ride indoors, it may be a challenge to ride 112 miles during the month outside. So, that might be something that someone might not be able to attempt. So don't discount doing the Iron Distance Challenge if you're not a cyclist or you don't have the ability to ride because of the weather. Maybe you can just do the swim and the run portion of the challenge. Again, it's we coach triathletes, so it's themed around the Ironman distance, but it's definitely just to get people back into consistency and doing, being really intentional and mindful of what they're doing each day, making sure they're not like, okay, what do I do? I have to do 10 miles on the bike so I get closer to my 112-mile goals, or I have to run, we're approaching the end of the month and I haven't swam at all. Oh my gosh, I have to do it all in one day. Whatever, it's just something to be mindful and intentional about.
That's awesome. It's also funny because you're like February. I always do flexibility February. When I think of February, I always think of Valentine's Day. So I always think of like telling somebody new that you love them every day, or something to do around like relationships. Make sure I kiss my partner every morning right when I wake up for the month. So you guys, it doesn't have to be just fitness and workout stuff. Wendy and I just always talk about that because that's what's in our lives all the time.
Right. And I just try to theme stuff.
Yeah.
So like April, awesome abs, awesome arms and abs, something like that. Something that rhymes with the month, or like I already said, March is National Nutrition Month. It has been since I've known. So
talk a little bit about that, because I want to keep it simple and just throw out a couple options so we don't like overwhelm people. So let's really simplify it. But I think nutrition is something that people kind of, that's a New Year's resolution for a lot of people. That's something that people want to clean up a little. So why don't you talk about the nutrition, the 5 fruits and vegetables, and how somebody can make that really simple into their life?
Yeah. So again, the USRDA, whatever they are called, they always used to recommend, maybe they still do, 5 fruits and veggies a day. That's actually a lot. That's a lot of food. 5 fruits and 5 veggies is a lot. But it's just that goal, like 10,000 steps. People like to use the 10,000 steps a day. It's just kind of a goal to aim for. First, you want to just see how much fruit and veggies you currently eat, like get that baseline and see where you're at. Usually
could be one. I ask a lot. Yeah, I ask a lot of people that. I'm like, well, currently, if you look at the last week, the last 5 to 7 days, what's your average fruit and vegetable consumption? And a lot of times people say 1 or 2.
Yeah. So a fruit, keep it easy, an apple, a piece of fruit, an apple, banana, maybe it's like 20 grapes is a serving of fruit, usually about a half cup to a cup, depending on the size of the original object. But for vegetables, I believe it's a half a cup.
It's a cup.
Could be a cup. It's a cup, depending on the vegetable. So that's a good way. So again, when you're thinking about goals, always start thinking about action plans instead of saying, I want to lose weight. How do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose weight by adding more activity into your day? Do you want to lose weight by decreasing how much you're eating? Do you want to lose weight by increasing the high value of the food you're eating, such as fruits and vegetables? So there's a lot of things you can do with that weight loss goal to set intentional actions to go there. And another thing I just want to mention when it comes to actions and weight loss, I think your best bet is to invest in your health and talk to a registered dietitian, someone who specializes in macronutrient density, weight loss, weight gain, and they can be very specific and tailor your nutrition program towards you and your goals and your previous experience. So you're not just randomly guessing by saying, oh, I need 2,000 calories a day, or I need 1,200 calories a day, or I need 1,500. They can help you decide that. I think it's a really good investment to help educate yourself about nutrition, is going with the registered dietitian route.
Yes. And so to keep it simple for the fruits and veggies challenge, take a quick inventory, what you typically eat over maybe 5 or 10 days, of how many servings, and Wendy just mentioned the serving size of fruits and vegetables that you eat, and then just add one. So let's say you average 2 fruits and vegetables a day. Let's say for the month of January, your goal is 3 fruits and vegetables, not 3 fruits and 3 vegetables. Just make it easy for yourself, because some days you might have 2 bananas and carrots, and some days you might not have any bananas, but carrots and cucumbers and onions. Like, it's going to be different every day. And so just make it simple for yourself and say, okay, this is more than I normally do. And fruits and vegetables are very nutrient dense foods. So I'm going to start eating 3 fruits and vegetables a day, every day for the month. So just make it simple for yourself. And my biggest tip for adding fruits and vegetables is eat a salad a day. So it could be your lunch, it could be your dinner, it could be your breakfast. I'm not judging. But you can turn whatever you eat into a salad. I'm like the queen of, if I feel like eating potato chips, I'll make a burger salad, and I'll put burger and lettuce and tomato and onion and ketchup and mayonnaise, everything I would put on my veggie burger. Just chop it all up, put it in a salad, and then sprinkle it with potato chips. And I get my potato chips and a giant salad. So make whatever you're going to make, just throw it on a bed of lettuce, and that gives you a serving of vegetables.
Yes.
So one of the ones that I wanted to mention, because this is actually one of my biggest goals for the year of 2026, is my sleep consistency. So I've noticed from wearing my Whoop for the last 5 months, I get my very best recovery score when my sleep consistency score is high. And that, we've talked about that. We've had a couple episodes about sleep, but that just means you're going to bed and waking up at the same time. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend or the weekday. And I noticed over the holidays, because I was trying to stay up with my family of teenage kids, I would stay up till like 1 a.m. And then if I wanted to get up and work out before I had to work, I would have to get up at 5. And all of a sudden my sleep consistency is thrown off. And it didn't matter what else I did. I could eat perfectly. I could drink all the water in the world. I could have the perfect recovery with my exercise. My body doesn't recover when my sleep consistency is poor. So that's what, that's something that you have control over, because you can decide what time you go to sleep, and you can decide what time you wake up. And just because it's the weekend and you don't have to get up early, it's going to throw your body out of whack if you stay up till midnight and get up at 9, when you're usually going to bed at 9 and getting up at 5.
Yeah. So we have a whole episode on sleep hygiene. And I just know, like, since we have fallen back with the time change a few months ago, my body is still on that, sleep schedule where instead of starting to get tired at 9, I get tired at 8. Like, I have such good sleep hygiene. Even over the holidays, I was getting tired early, but I was still waking up between 4 and 5 in the morning. Even if I'd stayed up an extra hour later or 2 later because it was the holidays, my body was still waking up between 4 and 5. Sometimes I would just lay there like wide awake, like, I don't have to be up. Let's try to sleep. And sometimes I would just lay there for another hour, not fall asleep, and then I'd get up. But the sleep hygiene consistency, it really works. Your body just starts to adapt, and it's not forced for me at all. I mean, I never wake up to an alarm. We always have our alarm set at 5, and I'm always up way before it, and I feel great. And I always am able to wind down. I turn my phone, I set it on my charger at 8 o'clock at the absolute latest at night, so I'm not on my screen. And that's when I get my reading goal in. This year I'm going for 26 books in 2026 or more. But I have developed these habits and routines for myself that are working really well.
Right. And good sleep hygiene, we've talked about this several times, but that sleep consistency is really important for longevity and overall health and wellness. And that's why we mention it so much, because some of you guys listening don't care if you lose weight or win a race or, anything like that. But I think the majority of people listening to a podcast called Wellness Made Easy we are interested in extending our lives and living healthy, fulfilling lives where we're able to do all the things we want to do for as long as we want to do them.
Right. I mean, if you're going to live to be 100, don't you want to live to be 100 and still be active and healthy? And sleep and nutrition are two key components to maintaining that health of longevity.
Right. And then finally, we had one other one we thought of. So if all this exercising 30 minutes a day seems obnoxious for you and you're like, yep, I'm never going to do that. Or if your sleep is all over the place, maybe you work shift work and you're like, I'm never going to have sleep consistency no matter what. And you're already doing good on fruits and vegetables, or you hate fruits and vegetables and you're like, I'm doing fine with my nutrition. Another really healthy one that is very, very simple is hydration. And something simple like every morning when you wake up, drink a glass of water for a month. See what happens. See how you feel. See how that starts off your day. See how your hydration, see if you feel more hydrated throughout the day. See if it fills you up and makes you less hungry for breakfast. So a very simple daily streak you could do is wake up, drink a glass of water. And I guarantee that's better than what I usually have to do. And I get behind on my hydration. And before bed, I have to drink a glass of water. And then I'm up 3 times peeing at the night.
You know what I love about all these things that we mentioned? They're free. There are
Ooh,
no hacks.
yes.
There's no hacking involved. It's all free. It's all under your control. You know, like even someone who doesn't want to bother with nutrition, you can if you want to. If someone doesn't want to bother with changing their sleep habits, or their sleep habits are controlled by shift work, you still have that mindfulness and that option to change things based on your shift work. And then drinking a glass of water, you can prepare it the night before. So it's even easier for you if you prepare it the night before. But it's just really being mindful and intentional, and all this stuff is free. Free recovery, free health.
And if you guys are like, all of this sounds ridiculous, you probably have someone in your life that said to you, I wish I ate better. I wish I'm so bad at drinking water. I want to start a workout program. And you can offer these suggestions to other people as well, even if you don't want to take them for yourself.
And even if you don't want to take them for yourself, maybe the word challenge and maybe the word commitment for 30 days, maybe that'll motivate you. And, you know, they say it takes 21 days to create a habit. So even if you're not interested in any of these habits we're talking about, maybe the word commitment and challenge sparks something in you to just give it a try.
Yeah, I love that. So I had a listener question, and we also had listener feedback that we want to share because we're really proud of it. But I had somebody ask me, what's the big deal about peptides? Why are they all the rage? Do I need to be taking them? And then she asked me if I take peptides. And I don't take peptides. I don't know a lot about peptides. I hear it as a buzzword. Like, I know that there are injections that help you lose weight that a lot of the celebrities are doing. And there's also peptides that help with sleeping or appetite control or hormone stuff. So what I told her, and this is what I would share, and then Wendy, if you want to add anything, is there's a lot of things throughout the years that are buzzwords or popular or all the rage in the health department. Like, health is a billions and billions and billions dollar category. Like, the industry of health and wellness is a huge, huge moneymaker. So they're always taking something that either occurs in our body naturally or helps our body, because peptides help with longevity. They help with like looking younger, feeling younger. But then they kind of blow it out of control. And then they're adding peptides to everything. And some of these peptides are studied and some of them are not. There's not just one, it's not just one type of peptides. There's many, many types of peptides. And some of them are effective in certain things for certain people, and some of them aren't. There's some are USDA approved, and some are not. So there's a lot of discrepancy. Not many are studied long-term for any long-term permanent health benefits. But what I would say about peptides or any other thing that you hear, and especially in January, you guys are going to hear all this amazing stuff that's going to change your life and make you more beautiful and skinnier and happier and healthier and more energetic with a pill or a cream or an injection. Anything that they put out there that can help with this could be icing on the cake. But what I would say is don't stop doing those basic things that are long-term proven for our health. And we talk about them all the time. And we've talked about four of them today: sleep, hydration, nutrition, exercise. These are the basics. These are the base of what you should be doing, what we all should be doing, or we all could want to. I don't like the word should. I just said it 3 times. But this is how we create that healthy, wellness, fulfilling longevity. This is how we create it, not taking the hot new product and taking the pill every day or getting injections in hope that that's going to make life easier.
Right. I love that. Exactly. Focus on the basics first and see what happens. So I had a listener question.
Oh, good.
And it was, what specific strength training movements will help me become a faster swimmer? There's a lot to unpack there. So I want to keep this as simple as possible. Just doing strength training doesn't guarantee that you're going to be a faster swimmer. And I think the most important component of strength for a swimmer is pulling with hand paddles and a pull buoy. That is going to be sport-specific strength training. If you're going to do that, you must have proper technique, because you don't want to be using hand paddles if your technique is poor. And so to become a faster swimmer, you have to work on technique, build the strength, and then work on speed by specific prescripted workouts that are based on your current fitness and time available to train. So having said that, when it talks about strength training, it really just depends on are you doing dumbbells, barbells, cables, bands, free weights, body weight exercises. So I don't know what this individual has access to, but you want to hit the major muscle groups of swimming, which are your lats, your back, your rear delts, the backs of your shoulders, your pecs, and your triceps. So if you can do a basic, work on push-ups, work on pull-ups, even if you have to do assisted pull-ups, work on the reverse fly or rear deltoid machine with dumbbells or a barbell, and then some sort of tricep dips or tricep extensions. That is going to help you strengthen swim-specific muscles. Doesn't mean you're going to be a faster swimmer, but it's a good start. It really just depends on who you are. Someone like me who's been a swimmer my whole life, the reason I could swim 100s on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve at a pretty comfortable, decent pace was because strength training is a priority for me. And I love working my chest, back, triceps, or delts, because I am a swimmer. My back is my favorite body part to work out in the gym. And I haven't been swimming much, but I can pull that off, not just because I've been a swimmer my whole life. I could pull that off because my body is very strong from weights and I'm already fast. So there's just a lot of ways to get faster, but I would start with pulling with paddles first. And then I would add more of the strength movements in the gym to enhance your swim speed.
Yes. And I just want to reiterate that although all those major muscle groups that Wendy pointed out will help your swim, if you don't know how to recruit those muscles in your stroke, they're not going to help your swim. And so swim technique, like Wendy mentioned, get with a coach, send us a video, let us help your swim technique. And then you can get stronger with those paddles and the fins and all the swim equipment. Because I know Wendy's the same. I've taught people to swim who are men straight out of the gym, who are built to the nines, like huge lats, huge shoulders, like they are buffer than buff, and they can't even pull themselves forward with a stroke.
And they can't swim more than a 25 without being breathless.
No.
So we did a whole episode on swimming. So I don't know what episode that, wasn't prepared for that episode.
It was like a month ago. So it was
we
recent.
have a Wellness Made Easy with Wendy and Kirsten episode just on swimming. And we talk about specific drills that are the basic drills that experienced as well as beginner swimmers should do.
Yeah. So check that out for sure. Wendy, do you want to share? We got a really great shout out on social media that we are really proud of. And
Yes.
so
So
if you guys are listening, we love comments, we love questions, we love suggestions, we love knowing that you're listening. We can check our statistics on Spotify and be like, oh, awesome. You know, this number of people listen to our podcast, but we want to hear from you and what you're getting out of it. Cause that's why Wendy and I love doing this podcast, is for what Wendy's about to read, for the comments and knowing that we helped somebody in some way.
right. So this is from Sherilyn. She starts out with still here. Not because it's easy, not because I'm chasing a podium, not because I never doubt myself. I'm still here because movement saved me, because triathlon gave me something to hold on to when life felt heavy, because showing up again and again reminds me of who I am. Some days it's strong miles, some days it's just lacing up. Both count. This is my why for 2026. Still here, always choosing to show up. After listening to the Wellness Made Easy podcast holiday episode, it inspired me to come up with a word of the year for 2026. Mine has two, but who's counting? Still here for me honors resilience, showing up through setbacks, and choosing not to quit physically and emotionally. Here, how to show up. Still training when motivation fades, still racing when it's uncomfortable, still believing in myself, still consistent and putting in the work, still here and choosing to be. I love that.
Love it. I love every single word of that.
Yes, for sure.
So thank you for shouting us out. And Wendy, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, I get goosebumps when I read it. I love it.
Me too. And I have something amazing to share too. So Wendy and I both know this athlete, Karen Weatherby, and we met her before she ever started doing triathlon, and she's still here in Colorado doing races. And I saw her this morning at the 5K. And she came up to me and she's like, I was going through old stuff, because her and I are always like, what year did we meet? What year did we meet? And we couldn't remember. But Wendy and I we used to do some triathlon camps for beginners, and Karen attended one of our camps as a very newbie. She had never done a triathlon, and she's still doing triathlon as well. And so she was cleaning up some stuff and organizing in her house, and she found the brochure that we put out with our camp, and it was 2004.
Nice.
So she took a picture of it and showed me, and I'm like, yes. So shout out to Karen, who's been a longtime client since 2004.
Fun. That is so much
I know,
fun.
isn't that awesome?
Like so much memory, so many memories.
That's 22 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that so
we
cool?
We did our first camp together.
I know. Awesome. And here we are again. So what are you most excited about coming up for this upcoming week?
Well, 'tis the season for swim meets to kick back in. And I think I have a swim meet. I have two in January, possibly 3 in February, and then possibly 2 more in March. And so I'm just looking forward to my kids, racing strong. How my athletes do are usually just a reflection of my coaching. And so that's one thing I'm looking forward to, because I haven't had a swim meet in over a month. So those are always kind of fun and different. I get to travel to Athens, Georgia for a meet. And then the championship season is in February. So I may get to go to Columbus, Georgia, which I've never been to.
I was born there.
You were?
I was born in Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
At Fort Benning Army Base.
Yeah. So I never used to like going to these faraway meets, but I kind of like them. I enjoy them. It's a new place for me to explore and go running between prelims and finals and stuff like that. So that's always fun. But other than that, just kind of plugging away into the new year.
Yeah, me too. I love the new year. We always talk about how much I love the new year. But I've had so the kids were out of school for 2.5 weeks, which including weekends was 20 days. Mm-hmm. Kids were out of school for 20 days. So my schedule was crazy, because here I am trying to maintain what I always do, hang out with the family more, and I didn't even have the days to get things done. So what I'm excited about is this weekend, I have a pretty empty open weekend. And one of the things I did right before the new year was I made a list of just things I want to get done. Like little, like update my website, like just little things that are always put on the back burner. And my list ended up being 4 pages long. And I'm excited. I don't have I'm not giving myself a time limit. I'm not shaming myself for not getting enough done. But each day, I just want to kind of flip through and find 1 or 2 things that I can check off.
Nice.
And again, no, there's no minimum. I'm not like, I have to do 6 things a day. Like I usually put all that pressure on myself. But since my word this year is allow, I'm just allowing myself to, when I have some time, which I will this weekend, and we have fun things planned. We'll go roller skating. We've been swimming lately a lot. Cora and I have been going to the pool more, but there's enough time for me to allow myself to work on my list a little bit. And I'm excited about that.
And do simple better.
Yes.
My words of 2026. I really like it. I always give myself the opportunity to change it when we talk about it at the end of the year. But it's definitely, I heard it from a famous coach named Steve Magnus. I forgot where I heard it from, but he's the one that said it. And so I'm not going to take credit for that phrase, but definitely simplicity. It's part of my coaching business, health, fitness, and sport. You have to be healthy to develop fitness, to perform in your sport. And then just the simple things we just talked about, it has everything to do with our podcast. So I think it's just a word I've always lived by, but more importantly, the last few years for sure. And so I'm going to use it more in 2026.
I love it. All right. Any final words?
No, just, relax. Don't get overwhelmed by the new year. I think someone like I used to be overwhelmed by the new year and I'm not anymore. I mean, New Year's Day was probably one of the most relaxing days I've had in a long time.
Right.
When it used to be filled with swimming for 5, 6, 7 hours.
A 5K. Remember
when we
there
used
was
to do our challenges?
And the New Year's Day 5K we used to do.
So I'm just more chilled out, and was a great start to my New Year's Day, was being a little bit more relaxed, allow my body to recover when it needed it, and then continuing to listen to my body and mind and keep things simple.
Yay. Awesome. Well, we would love to hear if you guys have a word of the year. If you guys want to, I would love for you guys to share what your challenge is. If you picked one of our challenges or picked one on your own, because we just come up with a few ideas. You might come up with an amazing idea that somebody else might want to copy, or they didn't even think of it. So share your challenges, share your ideas, share your word, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Make it a great day.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Wellness Made Easy with Wendy and Kirsten. If you want to learn more about us or anything we talked about today, check out the links in our show notes. We would love to know what you think of our podcast and what you want more of. So drop us a comment, send us a message, and help us out by leaving us a rating and a review. And don't forget to let us know your wellness win for this week. Thanks for listening. Make it a great day.